Hey YouTube, what's going on? Today I want to talk about why the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is still a great device. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because I got people still commenting on, certain videos, dealing with notes, and they're still buying this device. This device came out in 2018, like 4 years ago, okay? And people still want this device. So there's a reason for that. Now, this is a great device. Now, I like the Note 10 Plus a little better, but overall, this is a better phone. I'm talking about spec-wise and all that you're getting with this. This is the most complete Note that's ever been made. Period. That's not a debate. It's just not a debate. Now, the Note 20 Ultra is beautiful aesthetically. The Note 10 Plus is beautiful aesthetically and got better displays, better battery life, better cameras. Okay, but all of those phones are missing a lot of things that this phone has. Keep in mind also, with this device can do things and have things in it that many of these more expensive devices of today don't even have. And it's a shame, okay? This is a flagship device, top tier, top of the line specs, everything you want in the device. If you're a person that like flagship phones, you're going to love this device. Now, it's also great because the price. Now, brand new, spanking brand new, which if I was getting this device, I would want it brand new. You're just going to pay like maybe $310 max, just a little over $3 for a brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Now, of course, you got open box, which you can get it for like maybe $280, $250. I've seen it for like $230. And of course, pre-owned is going to be even cheaper. But I would stray away from pre-owned. I would do either open box or either brand new. And for me, I would do brand new. That's just me. All right, so think about that. So you got this phone, 4 years old. People still buying it. They still want this. They're picking this phone over iPhones. Now, I'm not saying a whole bunch of iPhone users are doing that, but there are iPhone users that are doing that. They're choosing this phone. The thing about that makes this phone so unique too. Think about this. This phone is not receiving any more software updates, and it's on its last year of security updates. But there are people out there that just don't care about that. Long as they're getting all the features and the amenities, all the things that they like about this phone, they're going to get it anyway. Okay, you could always put your own type of security on here to secure your phone. You could encrypt your phone. You could do things like that. And sometimes you could even root your phone if you want the latest version of Android. But, the average consumer is not going to do that. But there are techies out there that would do that. They would root the phone. But still, just the average person, like everybody don't care about software updates, especially if the phone is running well. There's no issues with the overall performance of the phone. They're going to be fine with, not having the latest One UI and having the latest Android version. They just don't care, honestly. So I just got to say that. Now, the techies, they want their phones updated. They want the latest version of Android. They want the security patches. That's what they want, okay? All right. Now, first thing, the build quality on this phone is absolutely beautiful. Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, aluminum frame. I got this cloud silver. I love this color. It's very, very beautiful. Build quality is top tier. I mean, it feels really, really good in the hand, nice and comfortable. Has, a nice thickness, nice weight to it. Doesn't feel, like a toy. I love the build quality of this device. Now, when it comes to performance, let me turn it on. When it comes to performance, I have no issues with performance at all. Everything, everything opens pretty fast. It's still nice and snappy. I'm not saying it's the fastest out there. Like of course, the newer phones are going to be a little faster, but this is definitely not no slow phone. It's not. I mean, if you nail it, everything opens adequately fast. And the average consumer is not going to care that it's not super fast. It's fast enough, honestly. I mean, you got the Snapdragon 845 in here. So always keep that in mind. It's not the newer processor, but this is fast enough for the average consumer, definitely. All right. Now, with the display, now this is always my favorite part of any device for the most part, honestly, is the display. The 6.4-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display. This display is absolutely beautiful. Doesn't get as bright as the newer devices, say like the Note 10 Plus or the Note 20 Ultra or the S21 Ultra or the S20 Ultra. They get a little brighter, but this is going to be bright enough. Everybody's not like me who has their phones at 100% brightness. That's just me. I'm just a maniac like that. But this is going to be bright, more than bright enough for most people. You may struggle a little bit to see it outside, if it's a really super bright sunny day, but overall it's bright enough. And the display is absolutely beautiful. Samsung makes the best displays on any device. Absolutely stunning. Now, there's no 90 hertz refresh rate or 120 hertz refresh rate. Most consumers, honestly, the average consumer, they don't care about that. Seriously, I mean, do I like having a higher refresh rate? Yes, because it makes the phone even that much more smoother when you're going in and out of apps, when you're scrolling. I mean, when you're, just going back and forth, it just makes more for a fluid, buttery, smooth experience. But the average consumer don't care about that. As long as the phone is performing well, they, like I said, it's not something that I couldn't live without, of course. And you just adjust to it. If you actually went back from a 90 hertz or 120 hertz back to 60 hertz, you'll be fine. You'll eventually adjust to it. It's not that big of a deal. So this doesn't have a high refresh rate. Average consumer don't care about that. But it's just something I had to mention. This phone also is IP68 water and dust resistant. So if you drop this in water up to 5 feet for 30 minutes, you'll be fine. So you don't have to worry about this dropping in the toilet, dropping in the sink. But for heaven's sake, don't drop it in your toilet, okay? Especially if something's in there. So don't drop it in the toilet. But if you kind of person that just can't live without your phone, you got to have it in the bathroom. You got to have it in the shower. You got to have it in the tub. You ain't got to worry about this phone getting any damage whatsoever, okay? All right. Another good news, headphone jack. Now, this is something, of course, Samsung has removed from their newer devices. The S10 was the last device to have a headphone jack, but there is a headphone jack on this device. A lot of times, this is one of the things that upset a lot of Note fans because they want their headphone jack. I'm one of them. I want a headphone jack. Now, I don't like that they removed that. There's something that they should put back on the device, give people the option just to plug in their headphones with a 3.5 millimeter, plug. And also, if I want to use Bluetooth, I can do it. I like having options. People like options. They don't like to be forced to do something. They want options, okay? So headphone jack is on here, and it has good sound quality coming through that port. Next, you get a pair of AKG headphones in the box, okay? Unlike the newer Samsung devices, where they've not only taken away the headphone jack, they've taken away the headphones. Now, can you get the headphones through Samsung? Yeah, if you ask for them, but you shouldn't have to go through that. They should be in the box, especially with these phones costing over $1,000. The headphones should be in the box, no matter if I'm in America or in Europe. Headphones should be in the dang box. All right. Next, the always-on displays you can see right here. Love it. Samsung makes the best always-on displays in the business. Time, date, day, battery percentage, and your icons are colored, so you pretty much know what they are. I love it. Okay, and of course you got the 3D touch button down here that activates the iris sensor. Now, the dynamic wallpapers, I love that. Let me show you those real quick. I have to get rid of this. Look at this. Every time you turn this thing off and turn it on, you're going to see a different wallpaper. I love these dynamic lock screen wallpapers. They're absolutely stunning. They're beautiful. That's for me. I like to see something different every single time I turn my phone on. I want to see something different. That's just me. So this is one of my favorite things that Samsung does. They do have live wallpapers too you can use, but I prefer the dynamic lock screen wallpapers because it's something different every time. With the live wallpaper, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. Next, the iris sensor. The iris sensor is activated. Now you could do lift awake, which I have it. If you see your eyes, I'm with the camera, so it's not going to really see me. You can see it right there. Let me turn it off again so you can see. I'm going to press this button here. See that right there? That's the iris sensor. You use that. It'll see your eyes and it'll unlock the device. The thing that I love about the iris sensor is that it's very secure and you can use it with Samsung Pay. And it also doubles as an LED notification sensor. All right? And there's people out there that want an LED sensor on their device. They want to see if they got, a notification. Now, for me, it's not a big deal. I'd say only a big deal in this sense. When I'm charging it, that LED is going to be red. When it's fully charged, it's going to turn green. So you'll always know if your phone is charging and when it's fully charged. But for me, not the biggest deal because I use the always on display. I can see my notifications at the bottom. And also I can see if it's 100% charged by the number. Now, if you're across the room, of course, that's different unless you got real sharp eyes. But it's, the iris sensor with the built-in LED notification sensor is on this device if you're considering this device. Next thing, the face unlock. Now you got face unlock too. Unlike other devices that don't have it, like the LG Wing, you got the new Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, no face unlock. You got the LG Wing, LG V60, no face unlock, which makes absolutely no sense. Face unlock is a foundational feature, is basic. $200 phones have face unlock. I have no idea why these manufacturers charging you almost $1,000 for a phone can't even give you face unlock. It's ridiculous. Okay, so you do have face unlock on here for those of you that like more than one way to open up your device. Now, of course, Apple has the Face ID, which is the best in the business, but that's all they have. They have no fingerprint sensor. And that takes me to the next thing, rear fingerprint sensor. Now, for those people that don't like the in-display fingerprint sensor, you don't have to worry about that. It's on the back. It's a physical fingerprint sensor, and it's 100% accurate, and it's super fast. Now, I usually use a case, and I know exactly where it's at. But now when I'm using it without a case, it's kind of hard to locate it. But it's really, really fast, and it's reliable. It's 100% accurate. Love the physical fingerprint sensor. It's on the rear, where a lot of people like it. I prefer fingerprint sensor on the front. That's just me. But when I've been using this phone, on a regular basis, I really never used the fingerprint sensor. Honestly, I always use the iris sensor. All I do is press that 3D button at the bottom or lift awake, and it'll, see my eyes and open up the phone. That's just the way I did it. Only time I would use a fingerprint sensor, say, if I was taking it out of my pocket and I wanted to have it on before I got it out of my pocket and got it to my face, then I use the fingerprint sensor. You also have intelligence scan. Now, that's a combination of the iris sensor and the face unlock together that's supposed to allow the phone to open up even faster. Now, when I've used it, I found that it was a little slow. I found that using the iris sensor by itself worked a lot faster. But it is on there for those of you that would want to use it. Also, you got dual stereo speakers too with Dolby Atmos. They sound really good. Not as loud as the Note 10 Plus or some of these other phones. But for the average consumer, you'll be fine. Everybody don't like listening to their media content or whatever without headphones on. A lot of people like headphones. Me, when I'm watching movies, I don't want headphones in. When I'm listening to music, that's when I want headphones, but that's me. But you do have dual stereo speakers on this device, and they sound pretty good. Let me let you listen to a little bit of music real quick, just to give you an idea. Let me turn the volume up. Some non-copyrighted music here. So they sound pretty good, honestly, especially for a phone that this old. They sound really good to me. You're getting 8 gigs of RAM now. The normal 128 gig version is 6 gigs of RAM, but I got the 8 gig of RAM version. You're getting 512 gigs of internal storage. That's the one I have here. But the regular one is 128, but you can get the 512 one now. It is considerably a lot cheaper. Now, the reason why I wanted the 512 because I'm a storage monster. I store a lot of movies and stuff on my phone, so I need that storage along with the expandable memory. Which brings me to the next thing. 512 gigs of expandable memory, up to 512 gigs of expandable memory. Something that Samsung has definitely saddened me, disappointed me, and infuriated me by removing such a key feature. Like the headphone jack was a key feature for me, and definitely expandable memory. Like the newer phones can shoot in 8K, 4K at 60, excuse me. And not only do you take away the expandable the storage, but then you start me off with 128 gigs, which is an absolute disgrace. That's a joke for a device that costs $1,200. And then with the Z Fold 3, $1,800, really $2,000. No expandable storage? I don't understand that. And only 256 gigs. Now, if you offered 512 like you did an original Fold and maybe a terabyte, then more people will be more susceptible to saying, okay, I'm paying almost $2,000, which still is too much money for any smartphone, in my opinion. But 512 gigs, okay, I can live with that without expandable memory. But 256 and no way to expand it, that's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. Now they're offering 120, 256, 512, and a terabyte with the Z Fold 3. But it should start out at 256, honestly. Well, actually it does. It actually does. But for me, for 1800, it should start out 512, like the original Fold did. But I'm not going to go on a rant with that. Let me get back. All right, next feature that's great on this phone too, what makes this phone great, is Samsung DeX. Basically, take this phone, you're basically carrying around like a laptop experience. You can get a laptop experience right from your phone on your TV, on your computer monitor, whatever monitor that's capable of handling it. You got Samsung DeX. I've used it. I love Samsung DeX. I just love it. Now, you need a smart TV. You need at least like a smart TV to be able to use it, or like you said, your computer, or some kind of smart monitor. All right, but Samsung DeX, definitely a great feature to have. Next, you got Samsung Pay. Now, of course, the other ones, the newer devices have Samsung Pay. The difference is Samsung Pay with MST, meaning magnetic secure transmission. Something they took off the newer devices. Basically, what that means, I can go to older credit card terminals, that's not updated, and I could still use this device. When I use the Samsung Pay, it's going to see it as a debit card or a credit card. Unlike the newer phones, the terminals have to be updated in order to use Samsung Pay. I don't like that. I don't think that's something Samsung should have removed. They should have kept that on their devices, but it's something they removed. But if you decide to get this phone, you're still going to have that option on here. Next, the heart rate monitor. Now, nobody seems to ever talk about the heart rate monitor, which is built in right here next to the camera. I use that, and I used to use it pretty regularly. Let me show you real quick. Let me go into Samsung Health. Let me see if I got it up here. Let me see. I don't have it. I don't want to waste your time. But anyway, it could, test your heart rate level, of course, your stress level, your blood oxygen level. It lets you know what all that it is. And I like it. And it's right up here in the corner. All you do is put your finger on there, and that activates it, and it reads it. And I love it. I used to use it all the time. I hated that they removed that from the phone. They could have left that on there. So that's something I'm definitely missing, but it's on this device. You're also getting a 4,000 milliamp battery, which is pretty much the same level as battery you're getting from most of these phones. Now, of course, phones are getting a little bit bigger with 4,500, 5,000 milliamp batteries, But 4,000 milliamp batteries, you're going to get through a full day easily. I get through a full day easily with this phone. Sometimes I can get it to the next day. But remember, battery life is always subjective depending on how you use your device. Everybody uses their device differently. As you can see, I'm using everything at max. I got my display at 100% brightness. I got my always display on, as bright as it can be. So I use my phone heavy. I get close to 500 notifications every day. So my phones probably get used more heavier than the average person. But I love that. But 4,000 milliamp battery easily lasts you a full day. Also 15-watt fast charging. Now, doesn't keep up with the charging speeds of today's phones, but from 0 to 100%, hour and 42 minutes. That's not the worst. And most people charge their phone at night anyway, so it's not the biggest deal, but that's not 3 or 4 hours to charge. An hour and 42 minutes, not too bad. 15-watt wireless charging also is on this device, so you have wireless charging capabilities. Takes probably about 2.5 hours from 0 to 100 to fully charge your device wirelessly. Also, you got the one-handed mode, one of my favorite modes on this phone. All you do is swipe down, make the screen smaller. You can move it to the left or to the right and then make it go back. I love that because if I need to easily reach something, I can do it because this phone is tall, 6.4 inches. So having it this small like this is really good, and you use it just like you would normally use it. There's no difference, just smaller. Then when you're done, just press in that black space and it goes back. I use this on YouTube a lot. Say if I want to stop the video, I can't reach that. My thumb, I can't reach to start the video to stop it. So, but when I do that, I can easily hit that play button and stop it and then go back. So the one-handed mode, I love it. Samsung does it the best. Well, Xiaomi does it well too. Xiaomi and Samsung does the best one-handed mode on their devices, and I absolutely love that. Definitely love that. All right, you got Secure Folder. Secure Folder is really great because actually all your pretty much all your apps can be in there, and you can keep everything secure. Like say if you want to take photos and they're photos that you don't want nobody else seeing, there's actually the camera app is already inside of Secure Folder. So all you do is go inside Secure Folder, click the camera, and start taking your videos and pictures, and it's automatically going to get stored into Secure Folder. You could pretty much put any app you want in Secure Folder except for your messaging app. You can't put that in there, but pretty much everything else you can put in Secure Folder. So that's something I really love, and I use it all the time. Next, you got your edge panels. Edge panels is something also that I use a lot. As you can see here, I got my direct call. I got my apps here. I got my apps pair, where I got 2 apps paired together. I got my weather. Of course, you got clipboard. You got my music. Of course, I got my basketball. And then I got these apps where I got create new contact, timer, video, add alarm, stopwatch, photo, add event, record voice note, compose message, things like that. That's in there. So I absolutely, and then you could put routines, a routines edge, you could put that in there as well. So I use, the edge panels all the time. And of course you get edge lighting. When you get a notification, all the borders around the whole phone light up, whatever color that app is. I love that as well. Of course, you got Good Lock. Good Lock adds an extra layer of customization to this device where you could just do so much more in the way of customization. So I love Good Lock. Of course, the phone has NFC. You got Link to Windows. Basically, that allows you to connect your phone to your computer so you can access your text, notification, recent photos, and more. Of course, I showed you earlier, you got the Lift to Wake, which I love because you can just lift to wake it. And see, that'll activate the screen, also activate your iris sensor and your face unlock, and you get right into your phone. Love that. You got Smart Pop-Up View, where when you get a notification, it'll come up like a little bubble. I like that. Smart Switch, basically, if you're trying, say you get a newer Samsung device and you need to transfer all your stuff to the next phone, you go in there, do that. Everything that's in this phone gets transferred to that phone, and it's set up basically the same way. So that's cool. I love Smart Switch. Also, you got Samsung Pass, which, you use the biometrics for quick and secure access to apps and services. It also safely stores credit card addresses and other personal info. Love that. I use that a lot of times, especially when I'm on websites that I use all the time. All I do is just to verify my identity with the fingerprint sensor, and then it automatically fill in my information automatically, and I love that. It saves me time. Now the cameras, you only got 2 cameras on the back, and we know today's phones got 3 to 4, some 5 cameras on the back, but here you got 2 12 megapixel cameras. The first one is a dual pixel wide with optical image stabilization. Second one is a 12 megapixel telephoto with optical image stabilization and 2 times optical zoom. Now with the modes you get on this camera, on this phone is nice. You get a bunch of modes. You get single take, you get pro photo, pro video, live focus, food, wide selfie, panorama, hyperlapse, slow motion, and super slow motion. So you do get your, you get your share of different things you can use. See them right there. So you can have a lot of fun with this camera. It offers a lot. Now with the video, it shoots at 4K 60 frames per second on the rear. Unfortunately, if you're going to shoot at 4K at 60 frames per second, there's no optical image stabilization, no electronic image stabilization. Doesn't have it. But if you shoot 4K at 30 frames per second, you got the optical image stabilization. Now 1080p, 30 and 60 and 240 frames per second, 720p at 960 frames per second, all those with optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization. Now with the front selfie camera, 8 megapixel selfie is wide. Video shoots at 4K at 30 and 1080p at 30 frames per second. And of course, you always have the one thing that makes the note is the S Pen. The S Pen is what makes this note. The note has Bluetooth capabilities. You got your air actions and all type of things you could do with this. Screen off memo with basically when you take this out, I'll turn it off, let you see this. Take it out while the screen is off. Automatically, you can write right on the screen. My handwriting is bad. And, I know they're talking about the latency with the new ones is better. I don't have any issues with latency on this. I mean, it's very responsive. Of course, you could erase this. And then if you write something, say you go back to write. Now, also, I want to show you, you have 4 different colors you could use. Of course, the original color that comes with it, white, yellow, red, and green. So you can write in different colors. All you could do is tap on it and you write in that color. Okay? So that's cool. And then all you could do is you press save, or if you want to save it, you could just put it right back into the silo. It'll automatically save it. If you need to scroll down, you can scroll down by this arrow right here. So you have a lot of options. So S Pen is great. I love the S Pen. And that's what really makes the Note. The Note is a productivity device. I know a lot of people really don't use the S Pen like they should. And it's not like you have to, but it's good to know what's there if you need to. You can use it to do precise things. You can use it to navigate your phone, use it to scroll, use it to make things bigger, magnify it. It does so many things, sign documents, PDFs. It does a lot of things. So I love the S Pen. I really hate when I'm using a device that don't have it. That's why my Note 10 Plus is my main phone. My secondary phone could be anything else, but my main phone has to be a phone, the Note with the S Pen. It has to be. So this is why, to me, the Note 9 is still a great device. It does a lot of things, like I said, that newer phones don't do. No iris sensor, no heart rate monitor, no LED. You still got that you got that intelligence scan. Okay, you got expandable memory. A lot of upper tier phones are getting rid of expandable memory. You still have all of these things on this device, plus you're getting a beautiful display. You're getting no intrusion on the display. Now you are getting somewhat of, bigger bezels than you would the newer phones. Like you can see the top got a, sizable bezel, unlike the newer phones that have no bezel at the top, but you got a smaller one at the bottom. Some people don't care because some people don't like punch holes. They don't like notches. They don't like none of it. They don't want no intrusion to their display. So they'll take this and they're fine with it. And it don't look bad to me. Now, I prefer the other look where it is bezel-less, but sometimes I wouldn't mind having a thinner bezel up here if I could still have iris sensor and LED notification sensor and all those things. I wouldn't mind having those if it was a little thinner. No big deal, but some people, like I said, they don't want no intrusion on their display, and they'll take it, and they'll rather buy something older like this to achieve that. But this phone is fully loaded. It's the best of the best, top tier, great phone. Matter of fact, when this phone was released, it was the phone of the year in 2018. Phone of the year. I'm only going to say that amongst Android phones because iPhone is in a separate category by itself. But in the Android world, this was the best phone in 2018. Definitely agree with that because it's such a beast. Now, like I said, it's super dirt cheap, just a little over 200 pre-owned and also open box, but brand new, just a little over 3. But I would get it, like I said, either open box or either brand new. But this is why the Note 9 is still a great device, still worth picking up. Can I suggest you get it? I can, if you don't care about having the latest software updates and security update. If you don't care about that, then I would definitely recommend you picking up this phone. It's the performance on it is still great. The cameras on it are still really good. If I didn't talk much about the camera quality, I can definitely show you some, pictures at the end of this video. If you want to look at the picture quality on this phone is still really good. Video quality is good. Of course, it's not as good as the other newer phones, of course, because it's 4 years old, but it holds its own. This phone holds its own against any of these newer phones today, in my opinion. So it wasn't my intention for this video to actually be this long, but there's so much to say about this phone because this phone is so great. Samsung really did a phenomenal job putting this phone together. The only thing that's missing for me is a wide angle lens on the rear and the IR blaster. That's it. Other than that, this phone was pretty much perfect for me, honestly. It really was. It really was. I mean, it's a great device. This is why people still love this device and people are still buying it today, regardless of how old it is, because it's that great and it can hold its own against any of these new phones today, in my opinion. So thank you for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there is staying safe and staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.